Hello, this is Dom
And Tom
from Blacktoad Studios, and today we're doing a Q&A. So we are answering the questions you put on the previous video on the link below.
So excuse me while I look down every so often, because I will be looking at my phone for the questions, because we haven't actually discussed any of the questions yet, because that's the way we wanted to do this, kind of on the fly kind of thing.
Yeah, so some of our answers might be controversial, and the other one may or may not agree.
Or completely stupid.
Yeah, or completely stupid. So let's find out. So Tom, first question.
First question is from IDICBeer. Good friend Nick there, sending in a nice little question here. And it is, how long do you think 8th edition will be around with the new update format Games Workshop are doing?
Right, okay, well I personally think we've got a good few years of 8th edition. I would probably say now we've probably got about 3 to 4 more years at least.
Yeah. I'm actually going to say something a little bit controversial.
Go
Please bear in mind they never called it 8th edition.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, so the Games Workshop, I don't think ever actually officially called it 8th edition, so I don't think we're ever going to see a 9th edition. I think it'll just be an evolving rule set, and they'll just be the rules.
Okay, well that'll kind of make sense with the more frequent FAQs we're getting.
Yeah.
To change the rules, and also like codex approved and stuff. So it'll be interesting. So I suppose we should all watch this space. If I'm right, 4 years, or if Tom's right and it's like an ongoing process and it never changes.
But I'm sure as a group of kind of community we'll probably dub something 9th edition, even if it isn't technically called it.
Well, yeah, interesting. One more thing I'm going to put in is that obviously AOS have now had this new change, so possibly we'll see something similar for 40k in the future. But
I think so.
It'll be interesting. Good question, Mr. Beer.
Yes. Okay, so we've dealt with that one, I think, quite sufficiently.
Yes.
So we'll head on to our second question, which is from a John Battle. Hopefully that's how you say your name. And it is a question which actually hopefully me and Don can answer on 2 different fronts. Is how would you fix Terminators? Question marks. Would you give them a points decrease, or improve stats, or special rules, etc.?
I would possibly give them a points decrease, and also at the same time maybe give them a special rule to maybe prevent Overwatch, or to increase the chance of a charge, maybe.
Yeah, I think one of the things I would like to see is to move away from having assault Terminators and normal Terminators. And you have the thing is
Imperial.
I know Imperial. This is my point. I completely but I agree from the fact that from your point of view that there should just be one Terminator slot.
Yeah.
And you should be allowed to equip them with anything you want from their armory.
But saying this, because of the FAQ and what they're saying now, that you get limited to three units or 3 of one type. With Chaos Terminators, obviously you can only take 3. Is it Marines? Can you only take 3, or is it the 2? Is it Assault Terminators? And
we do get Assault Terminators and Terminators. They are 2 separate.
So that's 6 you could have if you really wanted to.
So I think seeing a more generic Terminator would be a better idea.
Yeah.
For both sides, and because it would also. I mean, in fact, I don't think anyone's going to take 6 lots of Terminators in the game anyway.
And the thing is, as well, if you look at like the arms race now you have in 40k, Terminator armor doesn't really do that much for you.
Storm shields do they?
Storm shields do.
But that's what I was talking about, giving access to the armory to both sides of the equation, because I think it's a bit unfair Chaos don't get storm shields.
Yes.
But I do agree on that point. And also Thunderhammers, I presume, as well.
Don't have Thunderhammers.
No.
Should have Thunderhammers, but of course Chaos left them all behind at the Siege of Terror. They left the ship with all the hammers and the shields.
When the Warping could have come back.
Didn't come back.
Technically, but didn't have it.
Yeah, sad time. Also, I think with Terminators, maybe more variety, because obviously with standard Imperial Terminators, you've got the 2 new armor types.
Oh, the Cataphracti and Tartarus.
Tartarus and Chaos at the moment don't have that, which is a bit of a shame. But maybe introduce that as well. Different armor types, different rules. Of course, you've got different rules already. But
well, actually,
maybe...
I mean, see, the funny thing, going back to your point about data sheets, technically Cataphracti Terminator, another data sheet.
Yeah.
As well.
But at the same time, as John?
Yes.
John commented, why would you take so many types of Terminator? Because at the moment, they're not really that efficient. No. So, I mean, even when I put Terminators in my army, I don't think they're going to do amazing, because they'll just get blasted off the board.
They've got very specific purposes, and they tend to get blown away very quickly if
Yeah, so I think possibly a points decrease would be the easiest way of doing it. Also, maybe introduce some form of special rule or ability, and that'll hopefully up your chances.
Yeah. Right. Well,
There we go. Yeah, Games Workshop. I hope you're listening.
Yeah. So number 3 is from a good friend of ours, Major Chard.
Mr. Chard.
Yeah, Mr. Chard, for the Emperor. And he's asking, have you guys looked at any other, any other gaming systems which are non-GW related, like including Heresy, he adds, and if so, which ones and why? Yeah.
Tom, have you looked at anything else rather than 40k and Sigma and?
I've looked at stuff, but I haven't really. I mean, obviously, Age of Sigmar is a GW one, so I can't really mention that. I'm trying to think of a couple of things I've looked at. Nothing's really kind of tickled my fancy, really. That's kind of. And also the fact is, we ain't got a lot of time. I don't. I know he doesn't. And I don't know if I could fit another game system in. That's from my point of view.
Yeah. From my point of view, I've played a bit of X-Wing. I quite like it, although I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't collect it to play it, mainly because of 40k is expensive enough, and we complain about a codex creep and a bit of an arms race. But X-Wing, I think, suffers even more from that. And it's a lot more expensive. Although it's nice to have your painted models straight away. But at the same time, it's nice to paint your models. So you're missing out on a bit of a hobby section there. Also, I've been tempted with the likes of Bolt Action because I love my history, and I think it'd be awesome to get into it. But like Tom said, it's a bit of a time restriction. My passion is really 40k. We're constantly talking 40k or thinking 40k, so your mind's kind of wired that way. As we all know, if someone's talking to you and you're like, yeah, I'm definitely listening, I am not thinking about the squad layout that is in my head.
And also, we're not also thinking of things like, Necromunda, Kill Team.
Who would play that?
All the other things that they come out with. That's the thing. Is when you go 40k, you don't just get 40k. You get a lot of sub games that come out with it as well.
Yeah.
So, think of it as one thing. It's not really just a singular thing. There's a lot of additional bits that come with Games Workshop product, in my opinion.
Yeah, and let's face it, GW for the last year or so, well, more than a year, last couple of years have been hitting out of the park with their releases. Every game that's coming out has been good. It's either been supported completely or had some decent support. Look at Blood Bowl, still releasing stuff for Blood Bowl. Necromunda, still doing stuff from Forge World. More gangs are coming out. So I think if I did have time and money, I think personally I'd probably go into Bolt Action. Or something along those lines.
I'd probably give Bolt Action a look at, I think, just because it looks interesting.
Yeah.
And it is quite a cool scenario. Well, not scenario, kind of theatre of war, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. And
But so, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I think so. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Chard.
Mr. Chard. And this is from Mr. Blue. And he is asking, or says, you two appear to have very little in the way of Xeno armies. Have you considered expanding into more Xeno armies in the future? Even if you don't, which ones would you like to collect? I'll let you start.
Well, currently, we both have one Xeno army.
We do now.
I have Necrons, and of course you have the Orcs. I've used my Necrons a few times. I've got so much to paint and glue for Necrons. I somehow sort of a plan of I'll do 2,000 points, and then as we all know, it's just piled on, and people are like, oh, buy this, buy that. So I've got loads of Necrons. I've got a few Orcs that I painted ages ago, and I'd love to give them another go because my main passion was Orcs. I had about 6,000 points of Orcs, completely unpainted. And I got to a point I'm never going to paint all these. So sold them, started another army. Although going back, I would like to do Orcs. But yeah, what about yourself, Thomas?
I'm actually happy with Orcs. I have dabbled with Eldar in the past.
Yes.
Really didn't get on with them, to be honest. Not my play style at all. But I'm happy to stick with Orcs. I'm obviously waiting for the latest Codex release, which I think will help me want to play them more. Because I think at the moment I have had a couple of games recently, and they're just not really sort of worked for me very well. I mean, from a collecting point of view, they're great to collect because there's so many things you can do with the damn things. I mean, you can literally run as far as you want with your imagination with them. You can smash together different themes and stuff for their weapons, for what they've looted, and all that kind of stuff. But from a rules point of view, they have been a bit lackluster. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I think
that's the only thing that sort of held me back from playing them more on the channel. I would suspect that's the one of the things.
doesn't like losing every single game.
No,
but at the same time, to be fair, I've looked at most armies at some point. Like Tom said, Craftworld Elder haven't really taken my fancy. I kind of like a uniform look to my armies, and Craftworld Elder are all over the place, and not really my thing. Dark Elder possibly. Tau maybe. Nids.
I think you having guard. I mean, Tau's probably not the most
yeah.
attractive kind of art of Xeno army, is it really? Because he's kind of just doing the same thing.
Same thing again, just
in a different
blue.
style. Blue, more fishy.
Yeah, more fishy. No one likes more fishy.
Yeah, so I think that's about.
I think we've answered another one, Tom.
Yeah,
We're doing very well here.
And
keep them going.
The next one is from 210 Bear, and his question is: how many armies do you both own, and how many points per army? I wish I prepared for this one.
We could be in trouble, Thomas.
But we'll definitely have a go at as best at answering them. So for myself, obviously you've probably seen I have a few Black Templars knocking about. I think last time I counted, I think I'm pushing on the door of about 16,000 points painted, something like that. I think.
Yep.
Roughly, maybe a bit more. I mean, I've got lots of stuff knocking about them. I know that I've got about almost 4,000 points of Red Scorpions. I've got about 4,000 points of Grey Knights, possibly more actually, because they add up quickly when you start doing things with them.
They're rather elite.
Orcs, I think I'm pushing on the door of 4,500 now if I put everything in, but it's not the most cohesive of force, so it's kind of lots of stuff that I've got knocking about. And I'm probably forgetting something. I've got some Sisters of Battle, but very small amount of them. I kind of called it my Inquisition Ministorum force actually, to be honest, and I've probably got about 1,000 points of that knocking about in total, which is including Inquisitor Greyfax and Celestine and all the other bits and pieces that come with that kind of stuff that I've done. And yeah, and some Night Lords. See, I'm already forgetting, and I have 2,500 points of Night Lords at the moment, which I'm just getting painted at the moment, ready to go with them, because I'm really looking forward to playing them coming out of the Imperial section and getting to the Chaos for a bit.
Nice.
Nice to be there.
It's nice. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
For myself, probably my Necrons now. Painted, I've got about 2,500. Unpainted, unbuilt, I've probably got three and a bit thousand of them at the moment. So they're still building. I've got to paint and glue what I've got before I buy more, but I'll definitely buy more because I love Necrons. Next up, got my World Eaters. So I've got probably about 3,000 points at least of, naturally got more than that, probably got about 4,000 points at least of World Eaters. My main love, as you all know, I've probably got close to 11,000 at the moment, and still more in cupboards. I like my hobby cupboards at the moment. Yeah, got lots of stuff going on with them. So about 11,000. Got Renegades and Heretics. Got about 1,000 points at the moment, which I'm looking to expand, but of course being Forger, they're quite expensive. So that's be a gradual one. I've recently had a few more bits done to them, and I'm going to be they're hopefully debuting at the channel at some point, possibly in our Summer Apocalypse game. They might appear.
I think, got some stuff lined up, haven't we? So.
Chaos Demons, I've recently got a load of them as well. So I've got lots of stuff in the pipeline. So I've probably got, for Chaos Demons, 2,500, 3,000 points of Chaos Demons. Imperial Guard, standard like Cadian and tanks, I've got about 9,000 points. And then on top of that, I've got my Stormtroopers. So I've got about 2,000 points there as well. So I've got a fair few nice little things to pick from. So.
Also, just to add on to that, even though you didn't say 40k, obviously, I've actually got a Daughters of Cain army that I'm working on at the moment, just to sort of throw that into the mix. But
AOS. Well, I've got a Chaos Demon army.
He's ready for that. I had to start from scratch. But that's a little way off, to be fair, so I wouldn't expect to see them anytime soon. That probably wraps up that question. And actually, it walked into another question about armies again, slightly different one. This is from Underdog Painting. And he says, if you could start the hobby again, what armies would you do?
What armies would I do from
start
scratch?
Again. I'm going to pick one for myself, but I'll let you...
for it. No.
Sorry, okay.
So,
I would do Sister Battle.
Okay.
Because my...
right now? Or wait a couple
wait
a few months?
Let's assume this question has been asked when the new releases happened. I would do them...
And buy them all.
Because in all seriousness, that will be my next proper big army. Because I'm probably scaling down... Well, not scaling down. I'm scaling down buying things for other stuff in preparation for that release, because it's one army that I started with originally in the hobby, and I actually really regret selling all my stuff back then. But you know, it happens. As we all go through phases of playing and not playing, etc., etc. But yeah, that would be definitely my army of choice if I was to start again.
Possibly, if I had no other armies to do, and I sold all my stuff, and I could use the funds towards something, I would probably do orcs.
Yeah.
I love orcs. I think I was speaking to Tom about this a little while ago. When you go to a tournament, there's always an orc player, and the orc player is always the fun player.
He's always the happiest as well.
Always the happiest. And he's just like losing, he's happily on the bottom table. Well, he's not always losing, obviously. No, some orc players do really well if you put your list a certain way. But from my experience, they tend to be the ones that are just there for fun and enjoying the hobby, and their armies are mostly always beautiful. And it's just like, they are doing the hobby right because they are enjoying it. They're having fun. Their opponents are having fun playing them, and the models. It's a beautiful army. So I'd probably do orcs because they're just amazing.
Cool. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've got a question that I can't technically answer fully. It's from Ian at Imperium Gaming. Hello, Ian. And he says, how much of a chance do you think you have of winning when you play us in July? Well, obviously I went down there and I had a couple of games with him. I'm not going to tell you the outcome of them. However, I did have a very good couple of days of gaming. But they will be on the channel. Well, one of the games will be on our channel soon, and one of them will be on Ian's Imperium Gaming soon as well.
Yeah, so, we'll pop the link below as well. So if you guys haven't checked out Imperium Wargaming,
definitely check them out.
Go check them out. Yeah. It's great guys.
Great guys, great games, and a good channel. So, but yeah, look out for those videos. That deals with that one, and then we've got Dom's Apothecary. I didn't realise you had one.
Have I?
That's
Dom's Apothecary.
Yeah, that's the name of the.
Nice, brilliant. That's what I need.
Does need one.
Yeah, I have a hazardous life.
Oh, guys, this is quite a good one. If you could get rid of one character / unit from 40k, what would it be and why?
Space Marine aggressors. I hate them so much.
I thought that might be on your list. I was wondering if you might go Emperor's Champion.
No, I like the Emperor's Champion.
Okay,
I like the kudos you can get from killing people. But Space Marine aggressors, hands down, especially the bolter ones. Oh God, I hate them so much. They're so cheap. They're cheaper than Obliterators. Tom's heard this rant many a time.
He's
cheaper than Obliterators. D6 random shots each, shoot twice, and they just stand there and obliterate anything. And combined, obviously, with every standard Marine army now, with a chapter master and a lieutenant in their little bubble, they're just a pain. It used to be Centurions. I used to dislike them, the Grav Centurions. But I think the points kind of made them more palatable. And
fair enough.
Yeah, they're more palatable because you'd go, oh no, I won't go near them, but they're a big investment.
Yes,
so someone's got to.
You have to pay some big upgrades to get that kind of.
Yeah. But I think aggressors now, because of the points cost and because of the bubble abilities you're getting from the others, and depending on what chapter you are as well, I hate them. I'm not saying. No, I know I do hate them. I'm not going to say anything. I hate them.
Do you know, I'm actually trying to think what I would...
aggressors, go aggressors.
I can't go aggressors because I use them. I mean, I agree partially what you say, but they are quite useful.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think it's going to be a weird one, but I'm going to say units that give complete rerolls within 6 inches.
Yep.
On anything. Specific.
Yeah, rerolls for everything.
Now, I'm going to specifically use an example here as a chapter master. I love the ability. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great ability, but I think it's quite unfair when you compare it to what other armies have. Yeah. In certain situations, like for instance, we take a chaos for like example, you get rerolls 1 in combat. So correct on the fight phases? You get reroll 1.
So a Chaos Lord is reroll 1 of hits in combat and
shooting.
A Dark Apostle, for instance, is just combat, and an Exalted Champion is also just combat.
But I think for me it's aura stuff. Well, I can see what they're trying to do. I just feel like there's a lot of auraing going on, and I'm not a huge fan of it because it makes people have to take certain things before you even start thinking about an army, especially if you want to play in a competitive kind of competitive way. And the thing is, they got stratagems, so why can't we see stratagems more?
Or maybe it should be a unit ability. So, like each turn, the chapter master picks a squad, and that one squad will reroll everything. But on top of that, all squads around them reroll ones.
Yes.
So that might be a nice little boost rather than reroll everything, because I think it's nasty to go against when you're facing this. For instance, like, well, I'll go back to aggressors. But also, you, like Tom said, you're almost forced to play that way, because you're, like, if you see so many Ultramarine armies which are just gathered around Guilliman, or gather around their chapter master. Sorry, Guilliman probably not so much now, but chapter masters, for instance, you kind of like gather around them,
because it's a strategy upgrade. You're not actually losing. All you can do is get yourself a captain and you're away.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not actually any kind of point sink, really.
And now with battalions as well, giving more command points, it's easier to do.
Yes.
Very much so.
But yeah, that's kind of. I mean, I said I like Auras to a certain degree, but I think it definitely makes certain armies a bit boring to play against, because you just sort of go, oh well, you're going to play them, you're going to bring this. That's kind of, you know what's going to be in the bag, especially in a tournament setting anyway. In a narrative kind of setting, it's not so much a problem, because you just kind of bring what you like. It's not so much a problem. But yeah, it's just, that's...
Yeah, I think a lot of the units that we used to have like problems with would be like the things like Dark Reapers and stuff. But now, because of the rule of 3, it kind of, they're still strong, but they're not open to abuse as much as they were.
Not at all.
So you're kind of like, well, yeah, they're not that bad anymore. But
that's my choice anyway.
What unit would you like to remove? You tell us.
You tell us. We get some feedback on this. It'd be good.
Yeah.
Quite a good discussion, actually. And then we can send it to GW.
Yeah.
Obviously,
take these out.
As we're such, they take what we say very seriously. It'll happen.
Yeah. We got their ear.
And this is the final question from Oliver. Is that Turndrup? I think Turndrup. Yeah. Have you guys thought about doing 30k games at all? And if so, what armies would you both do?
Yeah, so 30k, I was thinking about doing Dark Angels for a long time, but I've kind of gone away from that idea, and I'm going towards Renegades and Heretics, mainly because very little change. I can use them 40k. They're a very cool army, and it's nice to see them rather than necessarily everyone taking Marine legions. So for me, it would probably be Renegades, because I just think they're quite cool. They're the unsung heroes or villains of 40k and 30k. So yeah, Renegades and Heretics for me, all the way.
Yeah. For myself, I actually already technically started a 30k army at one point, which was my Night Lords. However, because I wasn't really interested in continuing playing their rule set, I moved it to a 40k army of Night Lords, basically.
What about your other one you started?
Oh, the Imperial Fist, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. And I think the Imperial Fist thing, that was quite a while ago now, actually, wasn't it? Thinking about it. Yeah, but those units went into Night Lords anyway, technically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
So it was Imperial Fist was started, but I think because we noticed we had a lot of loyalist people wanting to play, loyalist 30k legions playing in our group.
Yeah.
We didn't have many of the traitor legions.
Bad guys.
I thought actually Night Lords would be a better choice. And plus, I quite like the idea of a Night Lord army, and I really like the Congo Kurz model as well. He's a really, really nice looking model. But unfortunately, because looking at the way the Heresy's going, the rule set at the moment anyway, it seemed too similar to 7th.
Yeah.
And I must admit, as much as I want to play it, I don't want to go back to playing that rule set.
Yeah.
And if they change it, maybe that will open a door later down the line. But at the moment, it's not something I want to go back to doing, because it's actually, I personally, from having played a lot of 8th now, I find 7th quite difficult to get along with.
Tedious.
Yes.
Very tedious.
And it's just certain things in the rule set I just don't think work.
Yeah. I think for 30k, the problem I had finding a legion to follow is that once you read a book, you suddenly find yourself compelled to go, oh, Raven Guard are amazing. And the next book is like Alpha Legion. You're like, oh, wow, these are the guys for me.
Yes.
And then, of course, Word Bearers had a big pull towards me, for me. But I'm just like, at the end of the day, I'm like already doing Word Bearers. And I want to keep my Word Bearers completely 40k rather than 30k, 40k. So, yeah.
It's not a big step, though, to move between the two, technically, if you just wanted to have a try it out. But if you wanted to play it purist, yes, it is quite an expensive thing to get into,
I think I'd rather, my personal preference is have a standalone army for both.
Yeah.
And I think, especially with the Renegades and Heretics doing them, there's not enough characters in there to have a problem for me mentally. Because if I'm doing my 30k, for instance, Word Bearers, I'd feel my characters in 30k Word Bearers would have to stay in 30k, and I'd have to have separate characters altogether for 40k.
That's fair enough.
That's my personal.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's last one there, really.
All the questions are done.
Nice little set for us there. Obviously, thanks for watching this. However, if you have any more questions for our next one,
please put a comment below,
yes,
or either on this channel or go onto our Facebook and
stick them in there. It doesn't matter. We'll pick them all up somehow, and we'll try and filter them down if we get a load of them. And also, if there's any critique on our feedback, and if you want to sort of put down, you know, any answers to the questions we have answered, or your viewpoint on it, please feel free to start a discussion in chat. 'Cause it's always healthy to get a bit of a to get some feedback from you guys. So
we'll read all your comments anyway, guys. I might not always be able to comment back, but we do read them all. I personally, and Tom, we love looking at them.
We always get an alert, so we always check it out. Really.
Yeah, definitely. So please put a comment below and put a question in as well for next time, and we'll do another one, because we like sitting out in the sun, having a few drinks, and reading you
talking.
We love talking.
We like talking.
Yeah. So anyway, this is Dom
and Tom,
Blacktoad Studios. Take care, guys.